All right, how's it going, everyone? My name's Lieutenant Mac. Thanks for joining us for another episode of our training corner here at Lehigh Acres Fire Control and Rescue District. Today we're going to be going over our first video in a series of videos on Preconnect deployments and hose loading. Today we're going to be going over Preconnect 1 specifically. So we'll have the guys demonstrate deploying the Preconnect straight out off the truck, as well as an alley pull and how to properly load it using our triple layer load. Preconnect 1 is our most common line we're going to be pulling for house fires. It's 150 feet and it's loaded up in three 50-foot sections of 1 3/4 inch. All right, so I'm here with firefighter Barry, and he's going to show us how to deploy Preconnect 1, which is our 150-foot red hose line, 1 3/4 inch, how we're deploy it off the side of the truck for a structure fire. All right. So he pulls it out. He's going to make sure the first thing he does is he's going to pull that ear out of the bail. He's going to make sure his bail's shut, make sure his nozzle's good, and then he's going to split the load. He's got the nozzle on one side, the ear's on the other, and he's got him right at his hip level. And he's going to walk off the side of the truck. The front door's over here by the bays. And then right here, he makes sure that all the hose is out of the bed. You can see the orange pigtail section there, and the engineer would also check that it's cleared before they charge it when he calls for water.
All right, guys, my name is Engineer Heft, and we just went over deploying Preconnect 1. Now we're going to go over repacking it, the appropriate ways, what we got to do, and we'll go over repacking. Okay, let's get into it. So if you come with me over here, the first thing you want to do, and that you'll see on our Preconnects, is this Matador or pony line, whatever you may call it. We want to preload this in a flat load. And this is important because you don't want it to show. It looks better, and it'll give you a better load ultimately. So what you're going to do, you got a guy on the other side. You're just going to feed this over to him. And as you can see, there's a coupling right here. You want this coupling to basically end up in the discharge that you see up here. It's hard to see in the camera, but there's a discharge up here. And it sits almost perfectly in that little pocket. Just like that. So it doesn't give you enough, it won't be a big bump in the middle of it. And it seems to sit very nicely with what we've done. So once you got that straight off, you want to hold this straight off the Preconnect. You're just going to step on it right here. And that's good to go. So now I won't get up. I'll keep my foot right there. So I would grab this section. I'll give it to one of my partners. I'll say, hey, Mike, I want you to pull out as fast as I go. And this is the easiest way that I've seen works loading a Preconnect in a triple layer. Alright, so since we got to the end, you'll see the nozzles down there. We'll take the nozzle off so you don't get confused with it, but I want the coupling lined up with the bite perfectly. And something else to keep in mind are these tracer lines here. You want to make sure red is on red, blue is on blue, so you have no twists in it. So I'll tell Mike to pull slack, and I want this right here, so once I set it down, it's steady with my foot. So now we'll stack it and we'll end up loading it. Yeah, once you get that stack right there, you're good, Firefighter Guerrero. Oh, we got people up here. Okay, that's good. I just want you to feed me. That's good. Come over here. And you're just going to feed it, all right? So we'll come up in here. Go straight back. Romeo, straight back. Pull the slack out. It's a basic flat load pretty much. Now you'll cross. Tell me when you're good. Hold it. I'm pulling slack. We got a bite. We got our coupling here. We'll put the nozzle back on. We'll put the bite into the bail and load it up. Finish loading it up. Close that bail. Flip this on itself. And let that nozzle sit almost in the middle so we have easy access to both sides pulling it off.
I'm Firefighter Ald. Me showing you how to do an alley deployment. So what I'm going to do is get my nozzle out of the hose bed. I'm going to take my ears out of the bail. I'm going to have another firefighter here with me, Mr. Benitez. I'm going to shut my bail, make sure it's all the way to the right to fight. Since it's an alleyway deployment and we don't have a lot of room to pull it straight out, we're going to split. He's going to go away from the fire. I'm going to go to the fire with the nozzle. And this is for a confined area, an alley or something like that.
All right, everyone, thanks for joining us today. This was our first video in a series of videos we're going to do on hose lines, hose loads, nozzles, and we'll continue to go over all the different hose loads that we have and how we pack them on the truck, as well as our nozzle flows as far as GPMs and their operating pressures and the anatomy of all our hose lines. Today we went over Preconnect 1, which is our red 150-foot section of 1 3/4. It's one of our most common lines used for residential structure fires and car fires with a longer setback than we can hit with the trash line. You saw two different ways to pull it off the truck. The first with Firefighter Barry, where you went straight off the side of the truck. That's going to be your most traditional deployment. Pretty simple. And then the second time you saw where Firefighter Ald did a alley deployment, where you were attacking a fire that would either be in front of the engine or behind the engine with an obstruction off the side. All right. Thank you for joining us today. See you next time.